Alrighty, so we're moving on to the second video about lists. In the first video, we just talked about how to create a list, how the indexing works, and how to call things and find things at different parts of the list. We're going to be talking about two new commands that we can learn how to do on our lists today. That is the append command. I'm so sorry for my handwriting. And the insert command. These do two different things, right? They add things to our list. Slight differences in how they work. Let's start with append. So when you have a list in Python, right, it's a variable that's holding on to multiple values like we see over here. You can get different parts of it. If we want to add something to our list, what we can do is just say my list.append, and then as you can see, we're using this little dot operator. That means we're calling the function append, which exists somewhere in the Python syntax. And all we're going to do is we're going to say append and then a value that we want to add to it. So I'm going to add, after 13, 21. Now, when I do that, let's try printing out the entire list. So I'll say print my list and see how it runs now. So now I had, right, that's 17 at the beginning of our list. We change it up here on line 6. 1, 3, 5, 8, 13, which is what I started with. After I appended 21, it's going to now have the value 21 at the very end of the list. So append lets you add on things to the end of your list. For insert, and I'm not 100% sure, so let's give me a second to make sure I got it. I'm going to say my list dot, and instead of append, we're going to say insert. And this time this takes two arguments. It's going to take an index where in your list, right? Where in your list you want to add the item, where append it always just adds it on to the end. That's what appending means. And then also what value. So I believe it takes the value first. So I'm going to say let's put 4 and in index 5. Let's see if that gives me an error or not. There is no error when I run it. So then let's just try printing my list again. Whoops. My list. Sorry about that. And we'll try running it again now. Okay, here we go. So let's see. We can check. Ooh, that's actually not clear. All right, maybe. Well, I guess it is kind of clear, but I'll make this 23 just to make it something new. Okay, a lot easier. So over here on line 14, we said my list.insert 4, 23. So actually it says this is the index that we're inserting at. This is the value we're going to insert in. And I can tell that because here on the final print statement, when I reprint my list after I insert, the value 23 shows up, right? The value 4 did not show up. The value 4 told us where in our list we are inserting this new value 23. So here this is index 0, right? I've got index 0 as my first index. Then 1, 2, 3. In the previous list, it was here. Let's do this on paper. I'm going to copy it down for a second just so I have it here. 17, 1, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Okay, let's come to the paper just so we can see a little, hopefully it makes a little more sense. Okay, so our list over here had the values 17, 1, 3, 5, 8, 13, and 21. If you remember, the indexes start at 0, so the very first item in my list is at index 0, then index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is telling me where I am in the list. This is the actual value of what is being held in that list at that location. Right, insert. So here, when we want to insert, what is going on? Why is this camera freaking out right now? It's going so slow. Whatever. I think you'll still be able to follow it. We said mylist.insert 423, right? We said my list dot insert in parentheses, not a square bracket because we're calling a function, and the arguments that I sent were 4 and 23. When I did this, the list that I ended up with then was 17, 1, 3, 5, 23, 8, 13, 21. So what this is doing is it says go to index 4. This is the index that I'm going to. Go to index 4, which is currently holding 8, and in its place, put this new value, 23. So right after 5, which was at index 3, we now see 23, which is at the new index, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything after that point in the list just gets bumped one index further, right? So it's not deleting 8. It's just saying, oh, now 8 gets pushed to index 5, 13 to index 6, and 21 to index 7. So this is what insert does, right? It finds the index that you want to insert at, and it puts that value into that index, pushes everything to the right of it, up one index. That is what insert does. I'll give you one more thing that you can do, right? Appending added a new thing to the end of the list. We started with 13 at the end of the list. After I appended 21, it added 21 to the end of the list. Insert found the index 4, put the number over here, the second argument in, as the new item in the list inserted at that location. You can also go back and edit things, right? We saw this in the first video, but now that we're seeing append and insert, it's really kind of, easy to forget that you can do this. If you want, don't forget, I can say, all right, my list at index 4 is now going to equal 99, right? I'm not inserting anything. I'm not appending anything. I'm just going to index 4 and replacing that value with 99. So let's see what happens there. I'm going to print one more time. And just to make it clear, because I have a lot of crazy output over here, let me see, like final print. And then we will print my list one last time. When I run it this time, it says final print. And at index 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 23 got replaced with this 99. So that is editing your lists, appending, which adds on to the end of your list, and inserting, which you can say where you want to change something in your list.